What is up, guys? It is RC6414 here, back with another video. This time I am back with more MLB playoff preview and predictions, the AL Division Series and NL Division Series. The Giants just beat the Pirates 8-0. Yikes. That's all I've got to say. A tough way to end the season for the Pirates, and then a good way to open up the playoffs last night. And one of the better playoff games I've seen in recent memory for baseball. The Royals, especially for wild card, the Royals knocked off the Athletics 9-8 in 12 innings. It was a great back and forth game. They came back down 7-3, tied it up. Tied it up later on in extra innings, tied it up at 8-8. Would eventually hit a walk-off by, trying to remember who hit it. Salvador Perez, that's who it was, the catcher. And they won 9-8, hit one down the third base line, scored the run, Royals win, advance to play the Angels. It's October, baby. You gotta love the postseason, regardless if your teams are in it. You're gonna get the best of the best games of the year, the most intense moments, the most memorable moments always happen in the postseason. So, even though the Pirates may not be in it, if I'd have to choose a team to go for, I'd say the Royals, just because they're 29 years, they finally made the playoffs. That's the underdog team this year. So if you don't got a player in the game, then you got your Royals. You got to go for the underdogs. For the National League, who would I like to cheer for? I'm picking based on unbiased, obviously, but just stating who I'm going for in the playoffs, probably now that the Pirates are out. The Royals, and I don't even give a crap about it now, honestly. I just want to see some good baseball. That's all I care about. Let's go ahead. The Giants, a little recap of that game before I get into the rest of the predictions. 8-0, grand slam by Crawford, the shortstop for the Giants. That's it. 4-0. You already tell the wind's knocked out of the crowd. Volquez struggles. 5-0, 7-0, 8-0. The Pirates do not score one run. They didn't get much offense, period. And the Pirates pitching just struggled, and the Giants were on top of their game. And the Giants are always known for their October and September baseball. They always make that last-minute run, so that's a dangerous team to watch out for. That was the little recap of the wild card games. Let's go ahead and get to the I'll start off with the AL Division Series games, since those are tomorrow. You've got the first game, the Baltimore Orioles facing the Detroit Tigers. Detroit, 5:30 p.m. The game is at Baltimore. The first two games will be at Baltimore. The last two, Game 4, if necessary, will be in Comerica Park in Detroit. And Game 5 will be in Camden Yards to finish off the series if needed. This is a series on paper that looks good. You got Detroit that ended up winning the AL Central, and they finished strong to pick up the win. Topped the Royals in the division, won the AL Central, and now they're facing the Orioles. The Orioles, great year, won the AL East, and make the playoffs again. So, just players to watch out for. Adam Jones, definitely. It's a guy you got to look out for. You got to look out for people like Chris Davis, Nick Markakis, Steve Pearce, a guy who's a story this year with 21 home runs, and up-and-comer J.D. Martinez, 23 homers and .315 batting average for the Orioles. Then, of course, you got for the Tigers, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez. The Tigers definitely have the experience into their advantage. They've made the playoffs and gone pretty far the last few years. You got Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and Torrey Hunter. He's another guy. Ian Kinsler. All those guys got playoff experience. I give the edge to the Tigers here. A lot of people are picking the Orioles to be that sleeper team that a lot of people think are going to advance to the World Series even, and some are even picking them to win. I'm going Tigers in 5 games. Honestly, I'm picking the Detroit Tigers in 5 games. They got more experience. The pitchers, the bullpen, the hitters, the more veterans. I'm giving this edge to the Tigers in 5. I think I'll give you a little bit of rundown. I think the Orioles are going to take Game 1, Tigers will take Game 2 and 3, Orioles will take Game 4, and Tigers will take Game 5 in Baltimore to wrap up the series. That's how I think it's all going to go down. And of course, these are just predictions. So if I don't get them right, then don't hold them against me. And then we have the next game, 9 p.m., Game 1 tomorrow. You've got, for the start tomorrow, just a side note for Game 1, you've got Max Scherzer for the Tigers, and you got Tillman, the righty, for the Orioles, who's 13-6 on the year. Scherzer, 18-5. So it should be a good series. Definitely one to look out for. I'm looking forward to it. And I think we'll get some good baseball out of that series, the Tigers and the Orioles. So check it out tomorrow. I think it's on Fox Sports 1, 5:30 Eastern. And then tomorrow night, the second game, 9 o'clock Eastern time on Fox Sports 1, the Kansas City Royals, the team that won that crazy game on Tuesday night over the A's and advanced. They're playing at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. A lot of people are picking this team because they're good offense. Their pitching staff isn't the best. They got Jared Weaver on the mound tomorrow versus Jason Fargas, the lefty of Kansas City. And Weaver, obviously most of you know, is a guy with plenty of experience. So it should be a good game. A lot of people are going to give the favor to the Angels here. If you really want to preview it, it could really, honestly, a lot of people are probably picking a sweep even for the Angels. Some may be picking it in 4. Me, along with a lot of other people, probably don't see it going 5 games, the full length, for the divisional series. But I think it could be a good series, honestly. I think we'll get some better baseball than a lot of people are thinking. And honestly, I could see it go basically any way tomorrow with the momentum the Royals have. I could see the Royals picking up Game 1. The Angels have had rest though, so they got that to their advantage. But the momentum carrying into the game might help the Royals. I'm going to give the Angels the advantage tomorrow. Game 1, I think they'll pick up the win. Game 2, I think the Angels pick up the win. Game 3, the Royals send it to a Game 4. They pick up the win at home with the fans behind them. And I think the Angels will wrap it up Game 4 and win this series in 4 games. So my pick, the Angels to advance onto the American League Championship Series and end up facing the Detroit Tigers. That's how I think it's going to go down in the AL. And of course, I'll give my predictions when the championship series come around for AL and NL. And then we will head on for the Angels. Players to look out for: Jared Weaver, Mike Trout, of course. Those are really the guys you really need to look out for. You got, of course, Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton. You got a stacked team. A lot of guys that have been there in that situation that you really need to look out for because they've got all that playoff experience, some power hitters on that team. Definitely, in my opinion, the best hitting team in the playoffs are the Angels. So, Royals, not as much high scoring. They do have stolen base advantage. This is going to be stolen bases versus runs, basically. You got people like Lorenzo Cain, Gerard Dyson, guys with speed. You got, of course, Eric Hosmer, a power hitter. You got Jeremy Guthrie, your pitcher. James Shields, who we saw. You got Ventura's your middle reliever, who can give or take do well. It just depends on the night. So it should be a good series, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Angels here in 4 games. And then we go to the National League. Games start Friday. You've got San Francisco versus Washington. San Fran picked up the win 8-0 tonight in the wild card. Took out the Pirates. And 8-zip. Madison Bumgarner played out of his mind, really good. Pitching for Giants delivered, hitting for Giants delivered, and destroyed. They advanced. They play the Nationals. A guy to look out for under the radar, Drew Storen, closer for the Nationals. That's a pitcher you need to look out for. Honestly, this series, it's going to be a good one. Whether people believe it or not, San Fran always manages to pull the they always manage to put together some good baseball in October and September to make that last push So I don't expect anything different here. This will be a good series, back and forth. You got, of course, Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, Steven Strasburg, the Giants in. You got people like Bumgarner. You got Tim Lincecum, who's not done as well, but he's still had a decent year. You've got people like Pablo Sandoval, the Panda. You've got who else you got on that team? I'm trying to think. Ah, dang, I drew a blank. But the guys pitching, they haven't announced the pitchers for Game 1 for the Nationals Giants, so I don't know exactly who's going to be on the mound to get the start for Game 1 for either team. But either way, we'll get a good series. We'll get some good baseball. And I think it'll be a solid series. I think, honestly, this could be the better series. The Tigers-Orioles in this series, I think, will be the two best series that we get, along with the Dodgers-Cardinals in the NL. Those two NL division series bring a lot of intrigue to the playoffs. So this should be a good series here. Game 1, I give the edge to the San Francisco Giants. I think they're going to come into Washington, bring the momentum with them, take them down. Game 2, Nationals will bounce back. I think they're going to take Game 2. Game 3 at AT&T Park in San Fran, I give the Giants the edge. In Game 4, I give the Nationals the edge. And in Game 5, Washington wins Game 4 in San Fran. In my opinion, this game is going to Game 5. And I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to the San Francisco Giants. Will take out the Washington Nationals, in my opinion. They're playing good baseball, the Giants, and I think this is a team a lot of people are overlooking in a way. I think they're going to bring their good baseball, they're going to keep it up, and they're going to take out the Nationals in 5 games to the max. I think we're going to see 3 or 4 go at least for all the games. I don't think there'll be any of these series will be sweeps, so I think that's a good sign. And yeah, Giants. I'm giving the edge to the Giants to take it all to the NLCS, sorry, and take it all to this series, take it all to the Nationals, and I give them the advantage here, the little upper edge over the Nats. So my pick, the Giants in 5 games. In the final series of the division series, the last NLDS, the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. That game will be at 6:30 p.m. Friday. This is another series on paper that I'm really looking forward to, honestly. You got Adam Wainwright on the mound dueling against Clayton Kershaw, 2 of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this. It's going to be a damn good series and a damn good game to kick off the series for the Cardinals and Dodgers. I'm really looking forward to it. For the Cardinals, you've got it's obviously going to be the first two games at Dodger Stadium, next 2 games at Busch Stadium, if needed, Game 4, and Game 5, if needed, at Dodger Stadium to close it out. For the starting rotations, I give the edge to the Dodgers. You got Kershaw. You got people like Cardinals will probably use people like Lance Lynn, John Lackey. For the Dodgers, you got Zach Greinke. You got Dan Herron. You got Hyunjin Ryu, and you got Clayton Kershaw. I mean, that's a good pin. You got 18-game winning Zach Greinke. I mean, basically, Clayton Kershaw is Cy Young. It's just going to be a good series. You got Adam Wainwright, Michael Wacha for the Cardinals. The bullpens, Brian Wilson, of course, for the Dodgers. And then you got Trevor Rosenthal, and basically a lot of people that are solid pitchers for the Cardinals, but I give the advantage overall pitching to the Dodgers. Then you got the hitting, you got Adrian Gonzalez, of course, Matt Kemp, Carl Crawford, Yasiel Puig for the Dodgers, Hanley Ramirez. I mean, that's all damn good hitters right there. Then for the Cardinals, you got Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran, Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, all guys who have been there before to the playoffs. So this should be a good series. If I give the advantage to anybody, hitting-wise, I give it to the Dodgers as well. Honestly, the Cardinals are a good team, though. but I think the Dodgers are a little bit better, and for that reason, I'm picking the Dodgers to win this series and advance to the NLCS to face the San Francisco Giants, where we see the Highway Series, the Dodgers and Giants, in the NLCS and rejuvenate the rivalry. Game 1, I give the edge to the Dodgers. Game 2, I give it to the Cardinals. Game 3, I give it to the Dodgers. And Game 4, I give it to the Dodgers. So I'm going Dodgers in 4 games here. I could see it going 5 games, honestly, but I'm going 4. I think the Cardinals win Game 2 and the Dodgers take the rest. And that's how I think it's going to play out. Those are my recaps and predictions. Recaps for the wild card, predictions for the division series. I'll have a brief recap after the division series, and then I will preview and predict the championship series when they come about. So, hope you enjoyed these previews and predictions and recaps. RSC6414, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, greatly appreciated. RSC6414, ALDS. Enjoy the baseball, everybody. October postseason, let's go.